Heartily welcome to all of you to our YouTube channel CA Sansar. I'm speaking to Stella from the CA Sansar, and today we are to going talk about a very interesting topic about a FEMA. And also, it's our pleasure to welcome a CA Hiren sir. Thank you so much, sir, to giving your valuable time and also joining us. And before beginning, I request you to all of you those who are watching us to subscribe our YouTube channel and do not forget to like and share and comment. And if there will be any doubts, so you guys can ask the question in the comment section, and definitely we will reply you. Now, I would like to invite Asha to share the thoughts of the today his topic.
Thank you, Stella. Over to me, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hello, everyone. At the outset, I would like to express my gratitude to CSNSR team for giving me this wonderful opportunity to give my insights on FEMA overseas investment and latest regulatory frameworks and all, and with practical insights. So let's start with the presentation. Today's agenda will be overall regulatory framework, means reforms done by central government, Reserve Bank of India in August 2022. Prior to the reforms and all like that, who will be the investment entities and all like that? What is the transformative changes, compliance and reporting, and many practical difficulties faced by the investors. In August 2022, with the consultation of Reserve Bank of India, central government introduced Overseas Investment Rules 2022. Simultaneously, Reserve Bank, for better ease of doing business and more liberalization, they simultaneously issued Overseas Investment Regulations and Directions 2022. Now, what is the route? Before 2022 means there are much controversies, lack of clarity over investment structures, restrictions for financial sectors, and there are also disinvestment hurdles and like that. Complex RBI approval and all the problematic hurdles has been solved through liberalization, introducing overseas investment rules and regulations 2022. So basically, there are two routes for overseas direct investment. First one is the preferred pathway for most of the overseas direct investments, allowing investment without any approval through automatic procedures. But here you have to comply with rules and regulations, and only reporting compliances you have to do. In approval route, you have to take prior approval of Reserve Bank of India before initiating any overseas investment. So this is the two routes for the overseas investment. Eligible entities for overseas investment: companies formed and registered under Companies Act, any body corporate which is incorporated by any law for the time being in force, LLPs, registered partnership firms. Registered is very important. If you are on registered partnership firms, you have to go with prior approval route, registered trust and societies based on their criteria and regulations. Resident individuals, they can also do the overseas investment through LRS scheme and all. What is the key liberalization measures? पहले क्या था, लैक ऑफ क्लैरिटी था, इन्वेस्टमेंट स्ट्रक्चर्स, फिर आपको लिक्विडेशन करना है या तो आपका मीन्स शेयर्स आपको सेल करना है, तो बहुत प्रॉब्लमेटिक था. आफ्टर लिबरलाइजेशन, आफ्टर इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ August 2022 overseas investment regulations and all, they enhanced the clarity and provided the definition for like strategic sectors, specifically defined the control, step down subsidiaries, what is foreign entity, net worth definition, and all the activities has been clarified by the Reserve Bank of India. Another major reforms is streamline the approvals. For example, deferred payment consideration, or you say means any merger or acquisition bonus issues or like that. And one more liberalization provision inserted: late submission fees. If you want voluntary compliance, LSF is very and you can pay late submission fees and do all the compliances which were pending after doing your overseas investment. Overseas investment under automatic route, but key criteria are there. For example, first criteria is limited liability requirement. Investment must be in a foreign entity formed or registered having limited liability requirement. If liability is unlimited, you are out of automatic route. Exception has been provided for strategic sectors. Another important thing is bona fide business activities. What is bona fide business activities? Bona fide business activities means activities permitted in India and the host countries. If it is not permitted, you are out of automatic route. Another thing, default or investigation. If any investor, willful defaulter, or any investigation is going on through central agencies or like that. So prior 2022, you are not allowed to do overseas investment. But after overseas investment rules 2022, there is a NOC mechanism provided, and based on that, you can go through the automatic route. Startup investment, RBI has specifically provided what funds should be used for the startups, recognized startups in the host country. You cannot use your borrowed fund for the funding or investment for startups. One more important thing, for more than one investor, मान लीजिए आप 5 इन्वेस्टर्स है, रेसिडेंट इंडिया से, इंडिविजुअल इन्वेस्टर्स है, सभी को आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट सिंगल एडी बैंक से रूट करना है. मीन्स एक HDFC से रूट होता है, दूसरा SBI से, तीसरा ICICI से, मीन्स डजंट अलाउ. You have to go through single AD bank, and mechanism is also provided if you want to switch to AD bank. Now coming to the points, modes of overseas investment. Primary, as you know, direct participation via MOA, acquisition, subscription, and like that. Very important criteria specified under 2022 guidelines. If you want to acquire any entity, foreign entity, through bidding process or like that, mechanism has been provided by Reserve Bank of India. For example, if you want to pay earnest money deposit, so RBI has instructed to AD Bank how to deal with such kind of transaction and or like that. Another corporate actions like bonus shares, right issues, merger, acquisitions, and or like that. Swap and restructuring is also possible, but here you have to bear in mind, in case of swap of shares, both the legs must be satisfied. For example, overseas investment and inbound and outbound, both the transaction must comply with RBI rules and regulations. Now moving to the overseas investment by Indian entities, what is the important is financial commitment. RBI has established a clear guidelines or financial commitment limits, and what you can use your funding sources and all like that for deployment of capital and all. So financial commit limits is very important for Indian entities. Let's check what is the limit provided under automatic approval route. Indian entities can remit up to 400% of their net worth for the overseas investment. Also, net worth has been specifically provided how to calculate net worth and all. लेटेस्ट ऑडिटेड बैलेंस शीट से आपको नेटवर्थ मींस कैलकुलेट करना है, और 400% की लिमिट है, तब तक आप ऑटोमेटिक अप्रूवल रूट से ओवरसीज इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकते हैं. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, इफ योर इन्वेस्टमेंट इज मोर देन 1 billion USD for a financial year, though you are fall under 400% limit, prior approval of Reserve Bank of India is required and you are out of automatic approval route. You can fund your overseas investment through EFC accounts, receipts and proceeds from ADR, GDR and all like that. So here, hope it is clear for what is the financial commitments and limits as prescribed by Reserve Bank of India. If any doubt, you can ask. Now, moving to another important aspect. Nowadays, all the business transactions are going through very economically beyond the country. So often means your subsidiary or like that required loan or guarantees or like that. Specifically, mechanism provided under overseas investment rules, regulations, and directions. Is it possible to lend your foreign entity? Yes, but subject to conditions. वो conditions क्या है? First condition is Indian entity must be eligible to make overseas direct investment. दूसरी condition क्या है? Indian entity must have already made an overseas direct investment. And third one is Indian entity must have acquired control over the overseas investment. If all the conditions are fulfilled, you are allowed to invest in that instrument, or like that you can lend your foreign entities, you can provide guarantees and all like that. But again, here you have to bear in your mind financial commitment limits. Equity, loans, guarantees, all must be clubbed for 400% calculation. Hope get it. Now, coming to the another important aspect, corporate guarantees. Much clarification has been provided under overseas investment rules and regulations. Corporate guarantee must not be open-ended. It means both guarantee amount and the validity period must be mentioned on the agreement. If at a later date, if performance guarantee breach any prescribed amount, say financial commitment limits, then prior approval of Reserve Bank of India is very important. You can also foreclose your existing guarantee and must be reported through Form FC. Also, modification facilities has been provided for corporate guarantees and all like that. Now, very important, before 2022 guidelines, पहले क्या था, मीन्स अगर आपका अकाउंट मीन्स आप एंटिटीज है, आप एनपीए है, या तो हैज बीन फ्लैग्ड बाय serious fraud investigation office or under investigation like central agency CBI or enforcement directorate, you are not allowed to do overseas investment. Now, after liberalization, one mechanism has been provided. Before initiating, if you are under investigation, you have to obtain no objection certificate from the respective authorities. For example, you are under investigation of enforcement directorate and you want to do overseas direct investment. So in that case, you have to take no objection certificate from the authority. Now, one question will come in your mind. If, say, you applied for the no objection certificate from your lender bank or regulatory bodies, say enforcement directorate or investigative agencies, but they are not issuing no objection certificate, what will you do in this practical difficulties faced for obtaining no objection certificate? In this situation, guidelines is very much clear. If lender bank or regulatory body or investigative agencies fails to furnish no objection certificate within a period of 60 days, then it will be presumed that they have no objections and you are allowed to do overseas direct investment. Now, there is also prohibited sectors like real estate activities, gambling operations, and also dealing in financial product or which link to the Indian rupees. You have to specifically take a specific approval from the Reserve Bank of India. Now, let us understand what is the practical procedures for overseas direct investment. अगर आपको फॉरेन में इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है और फॉरेन टेक्नोलॉजी से कोलैबोरेशन करना है, वो सब आपको करना है, तो सबसे पहले क्या प्रोसेस करना पड़ेगा? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड. पहले मींस यू हैव टू चेक योर एलिजिबिलिटी, means what is the FEMA compliances and all required, whether you are falling under automatic route or approval route. Based on that, you have to check thoroughly sector verification and all. You have to select AD bank through whom you have to route all the documentation and all. After satisfying all the conditions and all like that, you have to prepare Form FC, Form A2, obtain CS certificate, statutory auditor certification wherever required, and file all the documents to your AD bank. Now, what will happen after submission of the documents? AD bank will process all the documents and thoroughly check the FEMA compliances and reporting requirements. After satisfying, they will file the documents to the Reserve Bank of India. RBI has specifically instructed to the AD Bank also for maker checker concept and all like that. They will submit on behalf of the investor to the RBI, and UIN number will be generated. After generation of UIN, foreign remittances are allowed by the AD category bank. So this is the practical process of overseas direct investment under automatic route. Now जस्ट डूइंग रेमिटेंसेस आपको यहाँ से मीन्स डॉलर फॉरेन में भेज देना वही कंप्लायंसेस नहीं है. आफ्टर दैट व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, you must have to submit proof of investment, say share certificates from the foreign entity to your AD bank. After that, any amount due from overseas entity, you have to repatriate within specified time limits to India. Say for example dividends, profits or like that, you have to repatriate within time limits. Any non-compliance, say for example submission of, if you fail to submit proof of investment or you fail to repatriate dues from the foreign entity, it will be treated as violations of FEMA and penalty clause may be involved. Now after doing remittances and all like that, reporting UIN generated, proof of investment has been submitted, all the formalities has been finished. Now there are mandatory reporting requirements. Say for example, one, you have to submit annual performance report every year. Deadline is 31st December. Comprehensive report in which you have to give financial performance, investment performance and all details in APR. Entities like company, LLP, all they have to submit over and above APR foreign assets and liabilities, FLA return within 15th July every year. In individual case, APR is only a requirement to submit, FLA return is not applicable. Also, after investment, if there is any changes in your foreign entity, say for example diversification or changes of activities or like that, step down subsidiaries, you have to report all such transactions activities through Form FC to your AD bank. Say for example changes in shareholding pattern or structure. Any non-compliance for such mandatory reporting requirements will lead to violations of FEMA regulations. Now we covered automatic route. Another route is approval route. अगर मान लीजिए आपकी कोई एक्टिविटीज ऐसा है और आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट ऐसा है कि वहां पे आरबीआई अप्रूवल रूट कंपलसरी है, इन सच केस RBI, central bank, evaluates multiple factors like what is the project viability, what will India benefit from your projects or your foreign investment or like that, your track record, financial health and all will be checked by the bank, your domain expertise in your field and commitment limits. If it exceeds USD 1 billion limits, you have to take prior approval of Reserve Bank of India, though you are falling under 400% of financial commit limits prescribed under automatic route. Now before 2022 ये जो डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट है, लिक्विडेशन है, उस सभी में प्रॉब्लमेटिक था और बहुत हर्डल्स थी. आफ्टर रिफॉर्म्स, लिबरलाइजेशन, 2022 गाइडलाइंस allowed to transfer your shares and all like that, but subject to conditions. वो conditions क्या है? Means the sales transaction must not result in any write-off of the investment. If it is a listed entity, must be transferred through recognized stock exchange mechanism. If unlisted entity, you have to follow pricing guidelines issued by Reserve Bank of India. It must be at fair value certified by chartered accountant or CPA. One more important condition is the Indian party must not have any outstanding receivable or dues from the foreign entities, and overseas concern must have been active operation for at least 1 year. Then and only then you can transfer or liquidate your shares. Now coming to the very important clarifications provided in overseas investment rules and regulations round tripping. Let's understand what is the round tripping. Round tripping बोले तो for example A limited investors from India, B limited at USA. So A limited will invest in B limited, and after structuring or layering or like that, they will make investment in India. So it is like round tripping. Round tripping transactions is not allowed as it is a harmful practice and specifically with intent to evade taxes, manipulations, and miscompliances. So RBI specifically restricted round tripping transactions. So if you are going to make overseas investment, must be clear in your mind whether it is falling under round tripping or not. Based on that, you have to design your structures and all that. Now, there are several practical issues and common questions despite of ease of doing business, liberalization by overseas investment rules, regulations, directions and all. Like investor का question है means foreign में investment कर दिया but they not intimated to the AD bank. So what will happen in such situation? You can approach the AD bank through late submission fees. पहले क्या था, if any violations or like that, we have to go to compounding and all complex procedures. Late submission fees mechanism provided, which leads to very ease of doing business. Many investors are doing compliances voluntarily through payment of late submission fees. Such APR, FLA means not filed, non-compliances has been made, so you can go through the LSF route, no problem at all. Very important, major investors or founders incorporating entities outside India. कंपनी आपको बनाना है तो वहां पे एक्सपेंसेस होता है, वो एक्सपेंसेस कहां से पे होता है? सब लोग कैश से पे कर देते हैं. अगेन इट इज अ वायोलेशंस ऑफ फेमा. क्लियर कट इंस्ट्रक्शन मेंशंस है कि एडी बैंक को इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया हुआ है कि यू कैन परमिट प्री इनकॉर्पोरेशन एक्सपेंसेस and also it will be treated based on your instruction, it will be treated as your investment in foreign entity. Specifically mechanism दिया हुआ है. Another thing is APR is compulsory to file. Every investor have to file APR? No. If you are means you have not gained control in the foreign entity, you are not allowed. But if you gain the control, you have to file APR every year. Another thing, multiple investors who will file the APR. RBI specifically clarified that the person who have major stake, they can jointly file the single APR to your AD bank and it will be treated as all the investors have complied with the reporting requirements. Another problematic issue is like that audit requirements. Say for example, in USA, small companies are not required to do audit, or in India like tax audit. So in USA, it is not required. But based on instant FEMA rules and regulations, for filing APR, account must be audited. In that situations, you have to carry audit from chartered accountant or CPA. One practical questions, say individual, how can individual invest overseas, make overseas investment? Say for example, Mr. A wants to purchase immovable property in UAE for USD 10 lakh. It will be payable in installment over 5 years. So basically it will fall under LRS, but limit access is $250,000. So they have to go with prior approval route and all like that. Individual wants to do overseas investment, they can go through the overseas investment rules and regulations, but within limits of LRS. If you cross the LRS limit, prior approval is required. So based on all the discussions, why FEMA compliance is critical for ODI? Because every time violations due to ignorance or frequently overseas investment fraud with intent to miss compliances or evade payment of tax. So any violations will pass through the strict enforcement. Say for example, if RBI vouch for your violations, they will penalize. And also in many cases information has been passed on to the enforcement directorate, and enforcement directorate will investigate the case and all. Also PMLA and Black Money Act introduced, so it is advisable to do FEMA compliances thoroughly. Non-compliances can lead to substantial monetary penalties and all like that. If after doing overseas investment, if compliances has not been made, no further investment is allowed by your AD bank. Strict instruction given by the Reserve Bank of India. With that, I would like to conclude this topic. If you have any questions, please feel free to forward us. Thank you very much.
Such a wonderful you explain, sir, and very well the step by step the topic of about AFEMA, and hope those who are watching us they understood very well. And thank you so much, sir. Again, I want to thank you, like you joining us and also giving you valuable time.